Hi, my name is Aaron, and this is my show, Re-Education. And I'm going to do something slightly different this time. I'm going to talk about a current event. I'm going to do that a couple of times in this round of videos. I don't know how exactly they'll be released, so stay tuned. But this one, I'm just going to kind of ramble on a little bit about something that is pertaining to the shooting that happened in New Zealand the other day. Now, there is an idea going around. Now, I'm not going to fact check this one. This is the way that this video is going to go because I think it's more important to deal with this issue on the theoretical basis than it is to even deal with the actual facts, because the actual facts, they might not be real, they might not be true, but it doesn't really matter because it deals with something that's a deeper issue. So I'm going to go on the premise that this thing happened. And what was this thing? Okay, this thing was apparently some 18-year-old kid got sent to prison for a maximum sentence of 14 years for disseminating propaganda and basically endorsing the New Zealand shooter. The issue with this story is that it doesn't really matter if it's true or not. The idea behind it is, should we be punished for free speech? Should we be punished for releasing information, for pushing propaganda, for apologizing, for possibly even promoting the mass slaughter of certain individuals? Now, a lot of you in the past know I am on record for saying that I'm a free speech absolutist. And I would go further in saying that I am a freedom absolutist. I'm an anarchist. I believe that every individual should have 100% freedom so long as it does not infringe on the rights and freedoms of anybody else. But there is always that caveat, so long as you do not infringe on the rights and freedoms of anybody else. So that would make some sort of contradiction, wouldn't it? I mean, if you're a free speech absolutist, then that would mean that every single type of speech, no matter what it was, should be allowed, right? You should be allowed to scream fire in a movie theater, or directly tell people in an open platform to murder someone. Well, that seems like it might be going against the second part of what I said. Only if it doesn't infringe on the rights and freedoms of every other citizen. You have the right and the freedom to swing a samurai sword around as much as you want, as far as I'm concerned. But as soon as that sword comes into contact with my body, now we have an interesting problem, a conflict of freedoms, if you will. Your freedom to swing around that sword directly conflicts with my freedom to live, my right to life. So clearly, we have an issue here. There are always limitations when it comes to any sort of freedom. Do I think that this kid should have been put away for 14 years? Absolutely not. As an anarchist, again, I don't really even believe in prison. I think that there might be a necessity for it at some point, possibly. You can make an argument for it in the comment section below, and I'll listen, and I'll hear you out, but I'm not entirely sold on it right at this moment. But what I do know is that I think that rehabilitation tends to be a far superior method of getting somebody to not commit crimes again. You see, punishment is kind of an interesting thing. Many studies show that the more severe the punishment is, doesn't really impact the amount that crime is being committed. Criminals just tend to commit crimes and not think about the future because they have immediate reasons to commit those crimes. They don't have to think about the future because the future doesn't exist yet. On top of that, you also have the problem with the optics. I talk a lot about optics on this channel. Now, when I'm talking about optics, I'm not saying good or bad. I'm saying this is how this looks. And the way this looks is that we're locking people up for thought crime. That scares a lot of people. It scares me too. It actually creates a big confliction because though I think that what this person was doing was fundamentally wrong. I think that promoting the death of civilians, of innocent people, is wrong. I don't necessarily think that putting them in jail for 14 years is going to help anything. And in fact, I think that this kid is going to be looked at as being a martyr. Everybody on the right is going to see this as, oh, this poor kid was sent to prison. He's being put in prison because he was exercising his right to freedom of speech. Now, that's an issue. That's a huge issue. Because whether or not I think this kid was in the right or in the wrong doesn't really matter at this point, because now it seems as though we're trying to police people's thoughts, their freedoms. How do you get around that? How do you make it not seem that we are trying to crack down on the very thoughts and expressions that most of these people are feeling and thinking? You have to realize that they don't think their beliefs are toxic. I know that's hard to hear, but they don't. They think, just like as the media has portrayed, that all Muslims are evil, terrible, violent criminals that are going to, in no time, just start murdering everybody around them. That's what a lot of these people think. That's what they believe. I know that. That's what basically a lot of people that I know believe. They're not well informed. They're well intentioned. They don't want their family members or friends to die, just like we don't. So when they see all this fucking propaganda about how Muslims are bad, they're going to kill you, they're going to do all these things, and then you have somebody come in and shoot a bunch of them, and then get told and then everybody in the media cracks down and starts saying that you can't show that, or you can't talk about it, or you can't even promote any of it. Oh my God, aren't we just sowing more and more division? Aren't we just creating a harsher, stronger divide between everybody, making it more difficult to form any kind of alliances? That's what's going on right now. That's what's happening. It's making it so that we will fight to the death for an arbitrary, stupid, bullshit, propagandized idea that was manufactured by the elites to make you hate the people that you would otherwise be an ally with. You're being propagandized too. They're being propagandized too. We are all conditioned in this system, and they are making us fight and want to and actually kill each other. It's a fucking powder keg. I told you this several times. This is exactly what is going to happen. If we don't act, the fascists do. And that is when they win. We either are the ones that convince the people, or the fascists are the ones that convince the people. And when things like this happen, we have to be smart about it. We have to take this tactically. We have to think about it rationally. And we have to know every move that we make is going to be under scrutiny by the general public. That's a fact. That's the life that we live. And that's something that we have to pay attention to. But every one of their lives are being paid attention to as well. Every one of their ideas and thoughts are being paid attention to as well. And that is where we come in. That is where we make our stand. This is where we fight, but not violently. Through our words, through unity. That's the only way that we can defeat this. That's the only solution. The people, the masses, are the only ones that can make the change. That's up to you. That's the way I look at it. My name is Aaron. Thanks for watching.